Hey guys, welcome back to the shop for Saturday Night Special episode 156. This week we're going to have another two-part episode, part one, part two. I've got a lot of new tools to share with you. We've got a lot of viewer mail that's coming in and stuff like that. I think I might have a little bit of room for a little bit of machining this episode. We'll just see whenever I get to the editing and see what you got. I know part two, I've got a lot of machining and welding in that, so be sure to stay tuned for that. By the way, this is a retake on this opening. I accidentally had set the camera to narrow field of view, and I didn't realize it was on narrow field of view, and I did all of my filming, and whenever my intro right here, it kind of like cut my head off, which just looks kind of weird. So I just decided to go ahead and redo this intro, but there's going to be clips following behind this that where I'm showing the tools here. It's going to look a little bit grainy almost and a little bit closer view. That's the narrow field of view for the GoPro. I actually don't like it. It might work good if you're like outdoors somewhere, but in the shop, narrow field of view doesn't work good at all. But we're going to go ahead and roll with that footage I've already got because you can see the things in the shot there that I'm showing. But I wanted to say tell everybody thank you for the all the views and all the comments and the likes that I've been getting this past week. As you know, if you follow my channel, I've got some midweek uploads that I did this week. I did my very first local exploration video. I think that I'm going to start a playlist, and I'm thinking about calling it Gulf Coast Exploration. I don't know, that's just kind of what I'm coming up with. And as it comes up this year, you know, the summer, the spring, as I get out and see some places, I want to take my camera and show it to you. You know, let's do some little bit of exploration. There's been some good places mentioned, such as the Naval Aviation Museum, which is awesome. I really need to get there. Some guys said that they'd like to see me go to Floribama, so we might do that. And I've got a lot of places I like to go. So if you like seeing the local area, be sure to check out those videos whenever I upload them. And it's just something different. It's getting out of the shop and driving around, enjoying the nice sunny weather here in Florida, and seeing the sights. All right, just something new that I'd like to do on my channel, and so far everybody seems to enjoy it. I've got a lot of good comments out of that. And we also did that midweek upload with the broken bolts. I did that because I knew that I had plenty of footage for SNS, and I wanted to kind of give you guys something extra there in the week to watch. And I know that I've been getting a lot of requests for shop talk, and believe me, I have plenty of shop talk episodes that I can still do. I've already got some that I want to get working on here really soon. Just making the time in the evening to come home and do those videos. Just been real busy lately, and the footage I've been capturing here at work has been plenty to share with you. So those come. I do the shop talks as I have time to do those. Okay, but I do enjoy making those videos. All of these videos, I still enjoy this. You know, I enjoy making videos and sharing them with you, and that's something that people need to understand and remember. The people that want to get into YouTube, or they're already into YouTube and maybe they're not succeeding like they want to, I never dreamed that I was going to have a popular channel at all. I was just throwing a few videos up there of some machining, and I've just organically, this channel has grown because of the viewership there. So remember, just have fun, guys. You know, have fun. If you want to make videos, go out there and make videos. Take your camera, shoot whatever it is your heart desires, whether it's machine shop, welding, outside on the beach, fishing, you know, hobbies, whatever. If the viewers enjoy watching you, they're going to watch you. If you're doing something wrong and then they won't watch you. So just remember to have fun. Do it because you want to and you enjoy it. Don't look at it as it's going to be a new business adventure. It's got to grow organically. Okay, just something that I wanted to throw out there. So I'm still enjoying this. I like doing it, and I'm going to continue to bring you new videos each week. So I think we're going to go ahead and get to our tools. We got our new tools, tooling acquisitions. We've got viewer mail tools that's come in, and we're going to go ahead and get to all that. So I hope you guys enjoy this week's videos. This past weekend, I had a local viewer. His name is Danny Hurd. and he lives up in Jay, Florida, not too far from me, up on the North Florida border before you get to Alabama. He's been a viewer of mine for a while, and on a recent video where I was down here at the Monarch and I showed that big key seater cutter that's hanging on the wall, I had mentioned that I still have all the old Davis key seater cutters for sale, and Danny heard that, so he emailed me and said that he would like to buy them. So we kind of worked around each other's schedules, and we were finally able to meet up, and he come down this past weekend and met with me and picked those cutters up, and he also dropped off some goodies while he was here. He brought some nice stuff. So I just want to say, Danny, it was great to meet you, and it was great to talk with you. And Danny gave me the invite to come up to his place because he also has a big K&T mill, and he's also made his own parking attachment for it, but it's different than the one that I made. It's a different style, and he automated it too. So he's got that mill, and he actually owns a lathe that used to be in our old shop. It was one of the older lathes that Dad and Granddad had, and it was sold, and it's kind of went through several different hands around town here, and Danny has ended up with it, and it's a lathe that he uses. He's done some repairs on it, and he says he absolutely loves it. So he's got those two machines, and he's also got a Davis #1 key seater that he's been rebuilding and repairing, and that's what he bought the key seater cutters for. And he said that whenever he gets that thing up and running, if I want to come up there and you know, run it with him and play around with it, we can do that. So I'd like to try to plan one of those weekend trips, you know, one of those little weekend getaways, and we'll go up the road. We'll go through the country of the county here and get over there to Jay and see his neck of the woods, and see what Danny's got at his place in his shop. So we'll get to that here pretty soon. Hopefully we'll pick a nice weekend and take the car out and go for a country ride. So he brought a couple things. First off is this Hewitt TG150 collet holder, really nice. So this is the collets that I have for the K&T mill right there, and this will hold a bunch of those collets. It's awesome. And we've got some milling cutters right here, horizontal milling cutters, and these look like regrinds. Look like they've got some radiuses ground on the corners right there. And I know this one right here, it looks like these two are made by Moon cutters, which are excellent. And this guy, I showed this on Instagram, and everybody just loved it. This is a 6-inch shell mill right here that's brand new. It's never been used before. It's still original. Razor sharp on the corners, and that is just awesome because I don't have one that size right there. I've got some 4 inches, but I don't have anything. I don't have a shell mill that big, so that's pretty cool. That is awesome right there. And he brought a couple roughing end mills right here. These are used, but they're still good. They still got some good edges on them. We've got a brand new Hanita 3-flute roughing end mill. Really nice cutter right there. He says that he loves using these. So he brought me one of those and one of these. 1.25 inch roughing end mill. And what's different about that one? The left hand. There's your left-hand end mill. For everybody that was asking me, do they make left-hand end mills? Yes, they do. I've actually got a few of them too. But that's a brand new end mill right there. Awesome. So he's also sent me a stack of these. These are 5/8 studs, you know, for 5/8 hold down, which I actually have 5/8 hardware. And it's just, he said he's got a pile of these things, and what he likes to do is just cut them to length and, you know, rethread one end of them, which is perfectly fine. They do have the squares already milled on them, like you would find for a lot of your hold down studs. So Danny, it was great meeting you. Thank you very much for coming by. I'm glad those cutters went to a good home, and I look forward to getting up there to your neck of the woods and seeing your shop, and we'll take the camera and get up there and see what kind of footage we can get that weekend. All right. Thanks for the tooling. We got some nice new tools here that was sent in by Chris Palumbo. He's out of Nashville, Tennessee. And he sent me an email, and he had some things that he was trying to sell on eBay, you know, lots of different tooling there. And he told me, he says, pick one of those lots out, whatever you want, and I'm going to send it to you as a way of saying thanks, because he enjoys the videos, and he really enjoys watching the videos. So this was one right here that I seen on his lot, that on his eBay page there, that I've actually never seen these before, and I've never had them before. So this is a great tool to add to the collection. And what they are, they're Morse taper gauges. So this is a number 4 Morse taper gauge. Maybe you can see that right there. Number 4 Morse stub taper. And these are made by Bendix. So you have the proper Morse taper ground on the end of these. And all 3 of them have this little flat that's ground on the back end right here. Now I don't know for sure, but I believe that that flat is like a go-nogo gauge for a proper fit. If you're working off of a standard Morse taper fit, say you're machining something, a spindle or you know, some kind of tool for Morse taper, you can use this to gauge your diameter that you're boring it to, that you're machining it to. So that may be your go-nogo, go or no-go, the width of that flat right there. All right. So that's number 4. We've got a number 3. Let's see if we can open this up. All right, we got a number 3, and we've also got a number 2. Like I said, they all have the flat on there. So to give you an example, I grabbed this little sleeve off the card over there. So this is a number 2 to a number 3 Morse taper. Usually says it down here on the tang end also. And it goes in just slightly past flush of this largest diameter down there. But this gives you an example of what you could actually use these tools for. So these could come in very handy if I'm doing some work on Morse taper. So nice tools for the collection. Chris, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much, and I'm going to enjoy having these. So up next, we got us another new tool from Ryan Shanks over at Logic Industries. He sent some other stuff not too long ago, some of the air fittings that he makes for shop guys to hook up airlines to PEX tubing. But this is another tool that he's producing now, and it's absolutely brilliant. It's something that I've needed for a long time. And what this is called is the Big Boy Tap Guide. So let's go ahead and check this out. By the way, you know, this is all stuff that he makes himself. He's got a small CNC shop, and he's got some products that he's building and he sells. I'll have the link to his channel in the video description, as well as a link to where you can purchase this yourself if you'd like to have one. But he does a nice job with the case. You know, he buys these plastic cases right here to ship it in, and he wraps it up in this paper. All right, so there we go. So this is a spring-loaded center. And it looks like it's got a 3/4 shank on it. All right, 3/4 shank. The end's probably 1/2 inch, and it is. And it's got a lot of spring pressure on there. So this is great. This is great for when you're hand tapping in a mill or in a lathe, whichever one. You can put this in your drill chuck or a collet, and then you can shove this into the back of your tap to hold it as you're driving the tap. So it doesn't have any wiggle to it. Like I've got one at work, and it kind of flops around a little bit. So I look forward to using this. I know this is going to be handy. Ryan, thank you very much for sending me one. I am looking forward to trying this out. So I'll have it with me here pretty soon, and we'll get another shot of it actually being put to use on a job somewhere. So thank you very much for that. He also sent this so that I could show it if somebody's interested in. You can scan this image right here, and it's supposed to take you right to his product. All right, Ryan, thanks a lot, man. This is the new tooling that I picked up from Jack Hoying. He's a viewer of mine, and I've gotten some tools from him before. And he's got a website there that he buys and sells machinist tools. And he had recently come across the cylindrical square. That's what this is, a cylindrical square. It's not magnetic, but it is a very nice cylindrical square. And I don't have one, so it's something that I've been wanting to get around here. So I jumped on the opportunity to get this. He gave me a really nice price to purchase this. In addition, he had this V-block on his website as well. It's one of those magnetic transfer type V-blocks that you could use on a magnetic chuck over on the surface plate. The body of it is aluminum, and it's got all those steel rods going through it to transfer to your magnetism to your part. So just something to add to the tool stash right there. And the cylindrical square, I've been playing around over on the surface plate, doing some checking with it to see if it's nice and straight, if it's still good. And so far, I've been getting pretty good numbers, but I won't say I'm getting definite numbers. And it's not because this is bad necessarily. It's just because of my setup and what I'm doing. So I'm going to keep playing with that. And once I get a little bit more familiar and comfortable with the measurements that I'm getting, I'd like to capture some video of it and show it to you guys. I don't know what that was, but that was a loud bang outside. It sounded like something blowing up. So anyway, Jack had also threw this in the mix too. It's a long drill bit. I believe it's 7/16. No, I'm sorry. It's a 12 millimeter. So very cool. I wasn't expecting that. So Jack, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Pleasure doing business with you, and keep getting out there looking for all those awesome tools, man. I'm enjoying looking at your website. All right, last new tool for the week. So we got us another product from Edge Technology, and this is the Mill Caddy. And I've got the book here so that you can see what it does. It kind of goes hand in hand with their mill organizer, which I've already installed over on the mill. This one goes underneath it, and you can hang your mill vise handle on it, a hammer, and also like an air hose. So it just bolts right in with the mill organizer. So I want to go ahead and get this thing opened up, and we'll go over there to the mill and get it bolted on. It should be just a real quick process. They do supply you with the hardware that you need, but the mill organizer also comes with this, so you can just bolt this right up to the bottom of the mill organizer there. So appears to be made out of aluminum. It's lightweight, anodized. All right, let's go get this thing mounted up. All right, so here's our mill organizer. So what we'll do is go ahead and we'll take this off. Alright, it'll line up with the mill organizer right there. I'm going to go ahead and I had to take the little flange nuts off because I was having a hard time reaching them. They were pushing back in there. So this may be the proper way to actually install it anyway. Just go ahead and get them started on there like so. Slide it up in there. Okay. Snug her up. Okay, let me find some stuff to hang on there. So we got our, let's see if it's all right, so we got our mill vise handle right there. Here's this hammer right here. Let's see if it'll go. You could hang it right there. Okay, you can hang that one. And then the air hose. Bam. All right, nice little way to organize it. I most especially like the vice handle, you know, being able to put that right there, because this right here is always in the way. It's either up here or up here on the mill or somewhere over there, so I actually like having a dedicated spot for that right now. Pretty cool. All right, so there we go. The Mill Caddy from Edge Technology. There's some tools that my coworker just dropped off to me. This is for that bolt removal job that I was doing. I told him I needed some new cutters. This is a company that we use here at work for a lot of our cutting tools. We buy most of them from them, and I've had a lot of good luck with them. They have a USA made line, and then they have an import line. This is a left-hand drill bit set. This is a 4 by 0.7 tap set right here. I know it's hard to see on that GoPro, but yes, I've had good luck with all their stuff. A lot of our drawers are starting to fill up with Drillco tools. So let's see what the drill bit set looks like. Comes in a Hewitt box or case. And we got a full set this time from 1/16 to 1/2 inch left-handers. Nice. Just looking at the grinds there. Let's see what the 1/4 inch looks like. I like them. They're not split point like them other ones that I had, which is easier to grind when you're having to touch these up by hand. This should be a jobber, like a jobber drill. All right. All right, good stuff there. So another source you might check with, Drillco. There's another broken bolt job that's come in. This belongs to somebody that I know, and he actually called me asking me about drill bits to use to get a broken bolt out, and then he called me asking me about how much torque to put on an easy out, and I give him the speech. I said, don't use an easy out, please, don't break it off in there. So they went ahead and brought it to us to try to get it out. I'm gonna mess with this morning. This is kind of turned into a rush job for him, need to get it done, so we'll see what we can do. So I was just trying to hand do this without having to actually use the machine here. I used my new set of left-hand drill bits. I believe it was a 7/32 drill bit that I was using to attempt to spin it out of there, and the bolt is tight. I don't know if it's galled in there, bottomed out, or what. But I've got this other set of easy outs that I don't really use them much, but they are handy sometimes. They look like that. They're little short stubbies, but you have to use a wrench on them to get them to work. It looks like I've got the bolt working out of there, so I'm using this one right here. Uses a 7/32 drill. There it is. I'll have to put that in a vise. Oh, I don't really know the story of them. This is a brand new compressor that was going on an install. I don't know why that was broke. Maybe it got hit or something and it snapped off, because it looks like the casting right there, the very first thread, the lead thread, looks like it's kind of chipped out, pulled out a little bit. So let's see, here's the other bolt. See if it goes in there. Oh yeah, it goes in there just fine. So we'll run a tap in there just to make sure that the threads are, yeah, there's still a little bit more down in there. I'm gonna have to go in there with a pick and try to pull. It looks like there's a couple threads left in the bottom down there. There's some more of it. I already blew a couple little pieces out of there. I didn't get it, but I didn't get it on video, but I was able to use the left-hander to go in there and get what was left of that. Just like that. And there's your problem. It looks like the bolt was too long and it was jammed into the bottom and galled it on the first couple of threads, and it must have snapped whenever they went to take this thing off. All right, so pretty close to being the center there. There was a little bit more in there than I thought there was. I think we finally got this one done. This is the bolt that came with it that wasn't broke. And that's measuring 7/16 to the head there. And we're going to go over to the good side and I'm going to compare it. And it's a 1/2 inch on that one. So we got plenty of depth there. Looks like all the thread is out of there. It's good. What I'm not getting though, this piece bolts on here, right here. So I don't know what's going on with that, on why the bolts are too long, but that's, to me, that's what happened with this one, is that the bolt was jammed all the way in the bottom of the hole and it got broke off because it seized up. So I'm going to go in our bolt bin and give them the proper length bolts where this will tighten up on there, just in case that's what they need. It may not work. There may be something else that goes on here that I don't know about, but anyway, we got the job done. We got the broken bolts out, and there's part of it, and there's part of it. So I started saving these things. I'm going to go put them in my little savings container for my bolt extraction